Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir, Mr.
I'll comment on some of that. I agree with what you're saying to some extent, that we can incentivize something like this, but I think that that's a question for another day and another issue. This program is a good program for the city of Richardson. It is a good program for the city of Richardson. It maintains an inventory of those properties within the city that are rental. I had a call today from a lady that is concerned about a water problem. She said that she talked to her landlord, and I asked her who her landlord was, and it was the management company. She had no idea who her landlord actually is. So when we get involved in that program, which I think is a good program, I don't say we, I think is a good program. When we get involved in that program, now we've got to go find that landlord. That landlord could be anywhere. And in many cases, this is an investor property. These investors can live anywhere. I know. I insure some of them. They don't live in Richardson. They're investors. And they are investing in a property. Not because they love the neighborhood. Not because, I haven't had one of them come to me and say, Mark, I love this neighborhood. I'm going to do my civic responsibility and buy this house and improve it and rent it. Not one investor has come to me and said that. They're investing in it to do one thing and one thing only. I like to say my office is not a nonprofit organization by intent. We are in business to make money. An investor is in business to make one thing, and that is to make a profit, a return investment on his investment. That's why it's called an investor. So now, I'll be glad to go along with you on the incentive if you want to say, okay, all investors in real estate property in the city of Richardson have to include a mowing fee. I think that fee runs me about $25 a month. I mean, per mow. I have my yard mowed every 3 weeks in the wintertime. In the summertime, I have it mowed twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. At $27, Clay Bittler, I'll give him an ad, charges me to mow my yard. Now, if you want to put in the ordinance that every investor in the city of Richardson has to include a mowing fee in their thing to keep their lots up at $27, I don't think too many of the investors would be, I think they'll exchange $25 a year for $27 every week. Every week? $27 every week? Maryland, what's that, $52 times 27? 2 times 5, that's over $1,000 a year. If that's what we want to do, that's good. I think we can find other ways to incentivize. I think we can find other ways to incentivize. I don't know what those are right this second, but I will let the staff work on that. If we think that that's important, I'll let that do that. But I don't think that we're talking really about code enforcement here. This is a rental registration program so that we know, so that our community knows that that house 2 doors down from my house is a rental property. And I can then call and find out who the real owner is of that property so that we can address issues on those properties. And I think that's what we're going to do. That's what we should do, just like we do with any other program that we have. We register dogs so that people know whose dogs are in their neighborhood. I don't have a dog. Well, hold it, I do. Toby is a dog. I forget that he's not a part of the family. He is a dog. He's registered. And I don't necessarily believe that you, Mr. Mitchell, who doesn't have a dog, should pay for the cost of registering my dog.
I don't want to.
I agree with you. And I don't want to pay for the cost of registering those rental homes, which I think is important to the health and welfare of this community. And so that's the reason that I will support the $75 fee.
Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. To